Christmas. This entire video is out of focus and I am livid, but I'm also too tired to go re-record it. I just started making a list of all the people that I need to get presents for, and I'm stressed. I had the idea to recount a memory from each Christmas as far back as I can remember, and it turns out that that limit aligns with when I started posting pictures and things on social media, so I'm gonna go back to probably about like 2009. So I'm gonna start at last Christmas and work my way back. 2016, the Christmas after my trip to London. This is significant because upon leaving the room that I lived in London, I discovered that I had left all of my jewelry, besides the necklace and earrings that I was wearing on the plane, in the drawer that I kept it in. Basically on every Secret Santa wish list, and whenever anybody asked what I wanted, I said, get me jewelry. And it was great because everybody did. 2015. Since we were starting to be older, more boring kids that you can't do anything fun with or surprise with anything really, my dad had the idea to set up this weird little treasure hunt for me and my sisters to kind of find our kind of bigger gifts that year. Mine was exactly what I had asked for, which was the money I needed to pay my study abroad deposit. My parents wanted me to have something to open, so they got it in cash. But not just in cash, they got it in 20s, and it was hundreds of dollars in 20s that I just took back to the bank. 2014 was the first year that I made homemade gingerbread. I had this memory in my childhood. I had this kid's cookbook that had a gingerbread recipe in it, and I remember being really little and saying to my mom, we should make homemade gingerbread, and she was like, no, that's so hard. And so for the rest of my life, I had the impression that homemade gingerbread was, for some reason, exceptionally harder to make than other cookies. So I found a recipe online and I made it, and I've been making it every year ever since. 2013 was our first Christmas living in Virginia. Entirely unrelated, for some reason, it was right around Christmas that I watched a Bollywood movie for the first time, and I became entirely infatuated with them. So I had been in Belk with my mom, and I saw these really beautiful bangles that caught my eye because I had Bollywood on the brain. I pointed them out, and my mom was just kind of like, oh, okay. At some point, she got them for me, and I was so surprised, and this meant a lot to me because my mom is not really one for the big surprises, especially since we've gotten older. She's just kind of like, okay, tell me exactly what you want for Christmas and I will get that. You might even be present when I buy it. I was really excited that she had actually taken note of something that I pointed out in a store and gotten it for me. 2012. This was the year that my family decided they were moving to Virginia. Every memory that I have of this year is colored by that knowledge. The last day of school before winter break began, I might be remembering this incorrectly, but I think that the night before had been the last day that my dad ever worked in Atlantic City. I remember that on that day I watched Love Actually in my bed, and then we went to dinner to celebrate the new era ahead. 2011. Before we lived in Virginia, we would come here every year around Christmas time to visit my aunt and uncle. 2011 was the year of Virgil the kitten. I can't remember if Virgil popped up before or after we arrived, but basically what happened was my aunt and uncle had found this little kitten milling around in their yard. He had long hair and it was all matted, so clearly he was a tiny little stray, and he was a tiny little baby. They took him in and said that they would take him to the SPCA after we had gone and after the Christmas season died down. And they named it Virgil. I got to room with Virgil. So I was sleeping in this guest room, and I would say so was the kitten, but I'm not sure the kitten ever slept because I would wake up at 3 a.m. to him jumping all over my body and like attacking me and wanting to play. It was so cute, but I was like, son, it's 3 a.m. 2010. We planned to drive to Virginia the day after Christmas, but a terrible snowstorm popped up in the forecast, so my parents made the decision to drive on Christmas Day through the night. My dad came home from work at like 11 p.m. and we all got in the car and drove through the night. My mom and sisters definitely slept the entire time, but I didn't fall asleep once. So I would just take the entire back seat and I would lay across it, and I had blankets and pillows and music, and I was just watching the snowflakes pass. I felt so cozy and it was so much fun, even though my dad was kind of like losing his mind because he was so tired. I had fun. I have 2009 written on this document, but I don't even think I actually have any memories that I found. Yeah, okay, well, that's the end. That's all I got, so bring it on, 2017. I'm ready.